Hey guys, and welcome back to Banter. Today is our 4th episode, and we have a small cast today with me, Will, our editor, on because we haven't had him on in 2 episodes, so we figured we'd put him on as someone that's talking, and Moosh. Today is just a slice of life / current events episode, so we'll just be talking about whatever's current. All right. Oh, I should throw out that. The abortion episode was supposed to be today, but scheduling gets weird. We are teenagers, so that'll probably be coming out next Friday. What's current? Alright.
Elon Musk.
Alright, so I told Will that we'd talk about stocks. You go ahead. You just go ahead.
Okay. I'll start this off by saying, Riley and I, pretty much since we've been friends, we've had the age-old discussion. Is the stock market basically, in a sense, just gambling?
It depends.
With very many extra steps.
Well, so I'll just quickly explain my side, where there are 2 types of people in the stock market. There are the people that they do their research, they know what they're investing in, they plan it out, they spend their whole lives doing all of this work to find the best companies they can. And then yes, there are the people that quite literally just say, GameStop, here's some cheesy meme stocks, I'm just going to throw money and hope for the best. That, I will agree, is gambling. But the people that actually devote their life to researching this and finding good things to invest in, that's not gambling.
I'd like to thank you for conceding at least one of my points already.
What's your argument, Ryan?
Well, my argument is that the stock market is, in a sense, gambling with extra steps, and especially in the sense that if you have more money, you have more likelihood of succeeding, which is true even in gambling. Like if you go to a casino, you will get better odds because you'll go to the better room. There's a higher room, a higher tier if you go to casinos.
Well, first I want to ask you, what is your definition of gambling?
Well, before we give a quick definition,
go ahead.
But to the point about the more money, you're better to succeed.
You can lose it all.
In gambling, yeah. I mean, in gambling, that's true. In the stock market, if your account goes up 5%, that doesn't matter if it's 5% of 10,000 or 5% of 100. You still made 5% increase.
So you're saying it's worse than gambling? Is that the argument
No.
you're making? I'm kidding.
No. So think about it. If I put $10
Your
in,
rewards
right?
are proportional to you, and that's actually an equalizer in a sense.
Yeah, if I put $5 in, or $10 in, and one day I make 5%, what's 5%? Quick math.
I'm not going to tell you.
5 cents. 5 cents.
Yeah, 5
It's
cents.
just 5 cents.
I was just gonna say 100.
No, it's not
$5.
It's not 5
Okay,
cents.
so if I put $100 into the stock market, right, and I made 5% one day, I get $5.
Oh, it's 50 cents. My bad, guys. But
Yeah, it is
$5.
It is 50 cents.
50 cents. Shout out.
No, but if I put $100 in and it goes up 5% one day, I just made $5. If I put $10,000 in, it goes up 5% in a day, I make $50.
At the end of the day, 5% is 5%.
Sure. Okay. I guess that is a fair argument to make, but it still is in a sense gambling because you are putting money into something expecting a payout. Most people that invest in the stock market do not invest in the stock market to own stocks. Most of the time, it is to use it as an investment vehicle or a gambling vehicle, as I like to jokingly call it, is as a hope that stock will increase. That's why you buy stock, unless you are trying to be like Elon Musk and own Twitter. But we'll get into that.
Is that your definition of gambling? Putting money into something expecting a return?
For putting money into something for no value but the return that you are hoping to make from it.
Well, then house flipping is also gambling.
Yeah.
Whoa! Hot take there, Terry.
Whoa. Here's the problem. I need a definition of investing, man.
Yeah.
Like, what do you call it? Where's the definite, like,
We need
where's the line between
we
investing
need a
and
set
gambling?
layout of
I don't think there's much of a line. That's the thing I make here. I mean, I guess
What's the
investing-
difference between spend and invest?
Well, because for investing, I guess the argument usually made is that for investing, it's like more sound, it's like more thoughtful, and it's like you know about the material a little bit more. But even if you are like diversifying your stock and you're not just YOLOing on Bitcoin or whatever, and you're just what is it called, putting when you yeah, that's right. I know things. Okay, but it's like even if you're just like putting on like just one stock, even if you're not just doing that and you're diversifying your portfolio, you are betting on the entire market going up. Like if the market goes down, you still go down, even if you are diversified. So like you're still betting. It's still.
I want to highlight one difference though, that there are charts and there are indicators, there are different statistics, you can use different variables. There's no such thing in gambling. I'm not a gambler, I wouldn't know, but I don't think there's no such thing.
Really quick, to that point, like, you just said investing is doing the research and knowing more about what you're putting your money
How are you
into.
going to research gambling? Like, oh, he has the winning cards.
Oh, no.
Like, you can do a little bit of, but like the stock market, when you put your money in, you have to choose a company to invest in, which you're quite literally, if you're a smart investor, you're doing your research on that company.
Yeah.
Sure.
So how is that gambling if I'm doing my research? And yes, the market does go down, but like if you're smart and you did the research, you buy when it goes down, and it follows the economy. So are you saying the economy in general is just gambling?
The economy is cyclical. There's no,
But-
well, I'm not going to say there's no element of chance, but the element of chance in that large scale, long term, is predictable. The economy is a cycle.
Sure, I agree with that. I would argue that investing is just learning how to play the game, and the fact where you have a better chance of winning at poker if you know how to play poker than just randomly choosing when to fold and when to and when to raise and when to call. If you know how to play the game and you go, okay, so I have a 2 and a 7 here, I'm not winning, and you fold, then like there's a difference. There's a difference between someone that doesn't know how to play poker and might just bet on the 7-2 and get lucky because everybody else folds because he bet a lot of money, and there's a difference between someone that just knows what they're doing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, but now you're getting into like bluffing. Like in poker, when you put a lot of money in, that's not necessarily like gambling. That's just saying, I think I have good cards and I'm going to convince you by trying to make it look like I'm smart.
Well, no, you can definitely bluff in market. You can buy a whole bunch of stock, and which would make people think, this stock is going up. People that's like things that happen sometimes where people buy like a whole bunch of stock just so that way like more people will continue to buy it.
Just call him out, Riley. Just call him out.
Well, okay. So yes,
Also raise the money.
yes, okay.
Elon Musk.
People do that, but the problem is 90% of the companies you're going to invest in, if you want something to happen like that, you need millions of dollars being pumped into this. So yes, people like Elon Musk, which he's done it before with
He has billions.
Bitcoin,
He has billions, but yeah.
Millions. He's done that. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not impossible. What I'm saying is, if I went to go take my Fidelity account right now and I was going to drive up the price of something, I would either have to magically make $10 million appear or invest in a company that was worth like 1/1 billionth of a cent.
Yeah, well, that's kind of my point. It's easier because you have more money. That's what I was talking about before. Is that if you have more money, it gives you the opportunity to bluff more, and that's kind of what I was talking about when I was saying that it's easier to be in the stock market if you are richer.
But I wouldn't call it easier because that money had to have come from somewhere. So you had to get that money before you could start using those certain privileges of having that money.
Yes, and also like when you raise the price by buying in, the people that already had shares see that it's going up and they sell, which balances out you raising the price. Because when they sell, it goes back down.
True. If you're not a big proponent of something and you're like, this company's doing well and you're not like posting about it, then maybe you run into a situation where like you, but that also is just people calling your bluff. Hey, that happens in gambling. People call bluffs, and then you're like, well, there goes my $5,000. Like, there you go. But as far as shit, what was I saying? I lost it because I wanted to address your point. No, I'll just pass it over to you because I don't remember.
Like, one of the biggest things I want to bring up is there's a difference between doing your research in investing, insider trading, and then just throwing money at something. So if I do my research on a company, I say, okay, well, over the last 3 quarters, this company, they've met their earnings, they've even gone above their earnings, they're doing good, their industry is kind of increasing in their total market cap. That might be good to invest in because maybe 4th quarter they'll do good again, they'll meet their earnings.
Sure.
Then you have insider trading, which means you know information that's going to affect the stock price before it's publicly announced, and so you intentionally buy before that. Now that is like the closest thing to bluffing.
I'd call it just cheating.
Well, it's quite literally a federal offense. Like you get arrested.
Yeah, that happens all the time with our representatives in Congress. That's crazy how all the time our representatives are go to jail for inside trading. I love it. I love it when that happens because I'm just saying that doesn't happen. It happens sometimes, but it's like it's so rare when it comes to politicians and it comes to large political figures or not even political figures, large business figures. It's like that we do not prosecute. It's very rare when we do prosecute people for that.
Look, Ron, look. If you get caught breaking a law as a politician, you just suck, man, because there's so many politicians that break laws and don't get caught. How did you get a new gig? You suck at being a politician.
What is it?
That's embarrassing.
It's like the easiest professions to lie in is cops and politicians. and cops, politicians, and lawyers. Sorry, lawyers. But I mean, I'm not trying to be like every cop or every lawyer or every politician is bad. I'm just saying that a lot of them are.
I mean, isn't it like half of a lawyer's job to like think about it?
That's my one problem with being a lawyer. I don't want to defend a guilty man.
Exactly.
That's my thing.
Okay, just to reference back to the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Hey, whoa. You're not guilty until you're proven guilty, so you're not really defending a guilty man. I'm just saying, he's innocent.
Regardless of whether or not someone is proven guilty, I don't want to say the universe, but like something knows in them or out there that they're guilty or not guilty. Regardless of what humans think.
Your Honor, I've never murdered anyone, not even once. I promise. Alright, go ahead. What were you saying?
Okay, so what I was saying is if we reference back to the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case, clearly one of them was in the wrong and they knew that. And they were both in the wrong.
No, 2 months.
They were both in the wrong. Listen, it's like when you go to your mom and like you're tattletaling on your brother, but like you know you're wrong and your brother did nothing wrong. Like you know that you're wrong. So it's a lawyer's job to make your lie believable. That's what a lawyer's job is. And then if you're in the right, then it's just their job to prove the other person's lying.
So, but like, how do you know I'm lying? Okay, but anyway. Evidence, sure. Okay, but back to stocks. Back to stocks.
Stonks. I heard that, Riley.
You caught me. But yeah, I think it's just advanced gambling. I mean, maybe there's an argument to be made that it's a little bit more difficult and more controlled than gambling. And hey, I'll concede to that. It's a little bit easier to make money in the stock market than it is at a casino. And it's a lot more likely for you to walk out of a casino with less money than it is for you to walk out of the stock market with less money. That's fair. But that's just because the odds are more in your favor when you're in the stock market.
A casino is intentionally stacking the odds against you. I don't care what you say, casinos rigged.
So is the stock market.
The stock market is 100% controlled by the economy. Yes,
and
you can
hedge
influence
firms.
that. And hedge firms, not necessarily, because yes, they have a lot of money in it, but they're smart about it. And they can't stop it if there's an economic crash or an economic boom.
Well,
Like, that's there are things, the economy is going to change. And like that's something with gambling, it's always gonna be against you. Every single time. There's not a time where they're like, oh, you know what, it's your lucky day. Here, I'm gonna up your chances of winning. In the economy, there are days where it goes down. That's just because our economy went down. That's uncontrollable. That happens.
that's kind of my point. But yeah,
There
sure.
are way more millionaires off the stock market than there are millionaires off gambling. Think of it that way.
True. But like, it's like when the price of the U.S. dollar, like we always see it as a dollar, but that does change worldwide. Like, it's uncontrollable. That's why you do your research, and that's why people get so rich off of it. It's because they say, oh, we just had an economic crash. Like, I made like $300-ish off American Airlines just because we had COVID. I knew that they would go down because no one was flying. I bought low, I did my research. I was like, they're going down, they're not going to do very good because obviously no one's flying. I bought low, and then I sold high when all the airlines started coming back and everyone started traveling once everyone was vaccinated. Like, that's research. That's not gambling. I knew that would happen.
That was you, Will, right now?
No, it was before.
Example? Okay.
It was 7-8 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago.
But sure, but you don't know that company is not going to go under. That's like, I mean, you could bet on things like Apple and Google, like companies that are too big to fail. But usually, you don't know if a company's like going to do worse just because of like an internal issue or something like that. Sure, you can do your research, and you could be right. And I will concede that you are more likely to be right if you do your research than if someone that doesn't do your research or if someone that goes to a casino. But I still think that you are running the risk. That is what people talk about with the stock market, is that you innately concede to risk when you get involved in the stock market. Like that is what gambling is. It is conceding to risk to be able to make economic gains.
I just have one argument to that, Riley, and that's that you concede to risk the second you're born.
Okay,
Yeah, like there's risk in everything.
Yeah, but
Everything.
but not for economic gain. I'm not like I'm gonna be alive so I can potentially.
There's a
make
chance that when you
money.
buy that candy from the
No,
candy
I'm
store,
alive to
someone's
be
gonna steal
alive.
it from you, and then you lost the money from that candy.
Exactly. There's risk in everything. So like.
But you're not.
Yes.
But the goal in buying the candy is not to sell the candy for a higher profit.
If you're a candy reseller,
it
then
is
yeah.
to eat the candy because the candy is the product.
Okay, but like the risk is always there. But like I knew American Airlines wasn't going to go down because, like, if they were, they have to publicly say, "Hey, this happened," and then the stock starts going down. It's not like one day it just magically happens and then a week later they put out a news article. That would be insider trading. Like they
Which
have
does
to
happen.
announce that. Like if all of a sudden they went bankrupt, they're not going to wait like 2 years and then have the stock price go all the way down and then tell us. They tell you and then the stock changes related to the news. That's why it's not gambling. It's because you know what's going to affect it before it happens. Within an hour or 30 minutes.
Sure, but you still have an opportunity to. Okay. I'm not saying that you will lose all your money. I'm saying that you have that, and I'm not even saying that like you have the same odds of losing money in the stock market as gambling. I'm just saying that it's the same principles as gambling, and the only reason you invest is to make more money at the risk of losing money. That is what, because like when the stock market goes down, somebody loses money. Someone loses money. It doesn't matter if it's the people that are still hodling or the people that are still like that are just are not on. They're not checking their stocks that day. Someone's losing money. Like you can't gain money without someone losing it. That's not how. There's only so many poker chips.
The gambling analogy, further driving his point home. I love it. I
didn't think that in there.
I love it.
Could you argue that with like, if I go get a job right now, are you saying that if I go get a job, I'm gambling because I don't know if the person I'm working for is also going to go bankrupt one day and then I lose my job and I lose money?
Well, no, because you're not putting money into that company. But you're not like, here's my down
When
payment.
hiring?
While hiring, you have to put $100 down payment on job. On a job. How fucked is that? No, wait, no. How fucked is that? Like, fucking, yeah, okay, so you can work at Target, but we're gonna need a $5,000 down payment on your job so that we can ensure the risk of you maybe leaving at some point.
This is to ensure you will be a good employee.
Oh my
because
God.
we have your money.
This is
This
dystopian.
is actually kind of a genius business.
No, it's so bad.
Oh shit! Such loyal employees.
I want to talk about this. There was this thing on Twitter that I was looking at earlier. This one like weird like shell company was they would invite people to interviews, and the only place that you could park was in a parking garage, and it cost $30 to park there. And then they had an interview, and they were like, "We'll get back to you." They were like doing hundreds of interviews and hundreds of people just giving them $30. So really good. I love a business strategy that just thinks out of the box, and by that it means benefiting off, like, because if you're an employee, you're already kind of taking money from their labor. That's how work works. But at this point, you're literally like taking their money.
But like, we can't admit that's actually kind of smart.
I didn't say it wasn't smart. I said it was shitty and fucked up.
That is like.
We're already
Quite
demonetized.
literally-
We're already demonetized. Alright, go ahead.
that is quite literally the best business model I've heard of in a while. You get them to try to join your company, which you really don't need,
Okay.
and they're paying for it.
So
like
I
life
have
value.
no.
The
I
brand.
You want to hear a better business model? How about this? I have five five pill bottles,
Okay.
and they all like they help you with like dieting and things, and I'll sell you the 5 pill bottles for $10, and then you have to find someone to sell the pill bottles for $15, and they find someone to sell it for $20. But I get 5% of your revenue.
This is a pyramid scheme.
Are you scamming?
No,
Okay,
no, I'm scamming the person at the end.
It's so true.
And all of you guys, you're benefiting. The person at the end,
It's
they're
so
in
fun.
for it.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
We always say these things are messed up, but like, if you're the one at the top,
I know.
like right now, if I saw your pyramid scheme, I might say it's messed up and like people shouldn't be doing that, but like, I'm at the top. I'm balling.
But Riley, here's my fundamental evaluation of the difference between gambling and the stock
Oh, we're back?
market. Look, gambling is purely off of chance. You don't know what's going to happen.
Completely disagree.
Why do you
Go ahead.
disagree?
Because you have
tell me
to.
at the end. Tell me at the end.
Alright.
With-
I'll dismantle your point after. Go
With
ahead.
stock market though, with the stock market, it's a transaction. You are purchasing part of ownership of the business and selling and purchasing that. It's a transaction. Gambling is not a transaction. That's why they're different.
No. Okay, because first point. There is more than just luck to gambling, for sure. You need to know how to play the game, and you need to know the likelihood of. Let me finish. I'm not done.
What the casino stacks it against you.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that, but you also need to know how to play the game. You need to know the likelihoods of like specific card, like the likelihood of something coming out, and that there's specific ways to get better at gambling.
There's a reason one you go to mental
also
health
you
for
buy
addiction,
chips.
and the other one is a casual pastime for most people.
Also,
I don't care how well you know how to play the game. The casino stacks it against you.
I'm not saying you should gamble. No, actually, you're right. Get it twisted. Get it twisted. Go to the camp. You will make money.
You should gamble more than you should invest in the stock market.
This is not legal advice. Please do not.
No, it is.
Anything from us.
It is definitely financial advice.
No, Riley. Some people on the internet are absolute idiots that don't.
I'm kidding. It's a
Be
joke.
careful.
Guys, if you're going to take us for financial advice, NVIDIA, AMD, they're
We'll
pretty
start a
good.
separate channel for that.
Yeah. Will the editor's stock picks?
Okay. If you are leaving here with investment strategies, you have come to the wrong place. I'm just saying, you are not taking what this is about. This is a back and forth conversation, not at all. So you're gonna want to make sure that you invest in NVIDIA stock right now, and because it's going to. I heard.
Buy Tesla.
Guys, have you heard? This is the insider trading I promise. I heard from a guy that heard from another guy that heard from a guy that heard from another guy that
From
a woman
that heard
that
from
heard
his-
from a woman
That had heard
Who heard from Bill Gates?
who heard from Bill Gates.
Who heard that from Bill Gates? Okay, but anyway, what I was saying is, I think it's also buying stock is just a way to like, kind of, what's the word? I stock market is better than gambling. Let's straight up put it that way. I don't disagree.
I mean,
with
that's
that.
not even disagreeing.
That's not. I'm not disagreeing with that. Stock market is better than gambling on a principle that it is not trying to separate you from your money. That is not its end goal. But it is, in fact, gambling because when someone loses money, when you get money, someone else is losing it. That's kind of how it works. So it's not like just because you did your research, you're like people when you go to a casino and you're just playing for fun, there's casino rats in there that know how to play the game and they know the tells and they know how to be able to like pick off people.
And how rich are they?
And they're richer than you when you leave because they're gonna fucking take your money.
And then they lose it.
I actually don't know if that's true. I'm sure there are some people that have made money off of gambling. For
If
sure.
you are good at gambling and you consistently profit, come on, tell me how you do it. You can't be a real existing thing. It's impossible. I don't believe in your existence.
Listen, this is where I'm going to leave it. Okay.
You're leaving it.
The stock market is better than gambling. Gambling is a lot of risk. Can you make money from gambling? Yes. Is it smart? Absolutely not. Don't gamble. It's 90 times out of 10, you're going to lose money.
No, get it twisted. Gamble. You will make money.
I'm going to leave it at this. Riley, you still haven't attacked the point that the stock market is a series of transactions. Gambling is not a transaction.
Yeah, okay, what I was
I
saying
took
about this-
accounting in high school.
That's
Like,
true.
college
It is
accounting.
okay. You
Hold
were
on, hold on.
transacting.
St. Rose College Accounting 121, I think it was called. ACC 121. Yeah. Sorry.
Don't dox yourself. What are you
That's
doing?
my course I took.
Oh, okay. I was like, Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
I'm qualified.
You're like, all right, here's my zip code.
ACC 121 through the College of St. Rose.
Don't.
Bleed.
That actually will be bleeding.
No, don't believe it. Will.
No,
Don't believe it. Don't believe it.
I don't live in that address anymore.
I know. That's why you should bleep it because
I can't legally share that information anymore.
Anyway, right. So it is technically a transaction, but it is the same way it is a transaction as people like buy houses to flip them. You are not buying the house.
You have to buy entry into a casino. I'm not familiar with gambling. Is that a
No,
thing?
no, it's
No,
not.
there you go.
Okay.
But when you flip a house, this is why it's not gambling. You buy the house for say $100,000. You put $50,000 in to make it better. That money doesn't just vanish.
You still have $50,000
Sure,
worth
you
of a
just
house.
put $50,000 in. So no matter what, you're already selling the house for probably at least $140,000.
I will argue that there is a spectrum of what is gambling and what is like just like business.
No, this is binary.
It
It
is not
either
binary.
is gambling or it is not.
No. There is a spectrum, and house flipping is definitely farther down. Than I think it's like gambling, stock market, house flipping. That's what I said. There's and then there's like job.
Stop.
And then there's like lemonade. And then there's lemonade, and then there's the candy that Moosh was talking about before. That's probably on the lowest end of gambling. But I think, like, as far as like you're not buying the part of company. Most people that invest in the stock market, I'm not gonna say all people.
Regardless of what your intentions are, you still, once you purchase a share, you own a share of that company.
Yeah, but you're not buying it for the innate value of a share. You're buying it as an investment.
Maybe that's not what you're buying it for, but you still have that share. It still belongs to you.
The point of the stock market is to buy. It's the same as if you started a company. If you start a private company, you own 100% of the shares.
Yep.
The whole point of the stock market is you're buying the shares of a company to say, I have a 1/1000th of the value of this company. Do you want to buy it for me?
Yes.
That is the point. That's why it goes up and down.
Well, yeah, but that's my point. You're not buying it to have. Most people are not buying it. Most.
The weirdos that buy companies just to own 100 of McDonald's.
I have to clarify every time, and it's annoying. Most people are not buying stock in order to have an asset. They're buying it as an opportunity to sell it for profit. That is your goal when you buy a stock.
Yeah,
like
right.
you said, you went into the stock market and you said, I know that COVID's happening because everybody knows COVID's happening. It happens. It's here. So COVID happened, and you were like, well, I know the stock of airlines are going to go down, and then you bought into an airline and expecting for it to go up. You're not buying it to have a say in the company. Most people aren't buying it to have a say in the company. They're buying it to sell it for profit.
I went to a 4-hour meeting to vote for who should be on the board of American Airlines. So yes, I did.
Wait, was it like a Zoom meeting that they invited you to because you had a share? Yeah, they have those, yeah.
Oh,
No,
so
Will, you know,
Did you actually vote?
Yeah, I just randomly picked some guy's name.
big companies like Pepsi or Coca-Cola intentionally have those meetings at unconventional times where most people are working and in discrete locations so that as few people as possible show up. And you have to have a certain amount of shares in order, and your votes are proportional to how many shares you have, that sort of thing.
And also, I'd argue that this is kind of a dumb argument, but when you go to a casino, they give you buy chips. You don't play with your money.
Is that
buy
real
chips.
or is that like something you're analogizing?
No, you buy chips. That the chips are analogous for money. They're not actual dollars. They're chips. And of course, you're not going to the chips don't have much value. They have a little bit of value. You can hit people with chips and you can melt them and make bigger chips. But what I'm saying is
Bigger chips.
but the reason that you have chips is to play for more chips. They're you're not.
It's still a transaction.
It's still a transaction. So I feel like the transaction argument is gone void because whatever pulls away, the whether or not it's gambling, in my
But the
opinion.
reason it's not a transaction is because the employer doesn't designate chips as like innate merchandise.
What do you mean?
Not the employer, but the owner, the casino owner. He's not like selling you chips deliberately.
Yeah, he is. He wants to take your money. No, he is.
He's not telling you buy these chips so
And
that,
go gamble.
so that you can do something with them that is not.
Buy these chips so you can go gamble with them. Go do it. I mean, what I'm saying, the distinguishing factor between with gambling is how much the purchase is taking you away from an actual value from your product. Like the reason that you are buying it, the distinguishing factor is whether or not the reason you're buying it is for monetary gain or for other gain, as in an asset reason, as in for shelter, as in for food, as in for entertainment. People go to the casino for entertainment. So they don't. A lot of people don't do it to make profit.
Yeah, nobody makes their living from. Well, not nobody, but
most people don't make a living from gambling. So there is a difference. There's a little bit of a difference there where I just think the reason I get upset with the stock market is people.
If you do, get some help. But
true, a little bit. But the reason that I get upset with the stock market is people treat it as holier than gambling. as if it's like less degenerate. Less degenerate. It's barely. But it's still kind of degenerate. It's like you are buying this thinking that you are better than the average stock user. That is the reason why you are there. You think you're better than the average stock person, and you're saying like basically I'm better, so I will make profit, and that's why I'm buying here. It's still kind of degenerate, and I'm not saying you can't make money because people make money.
That is a valid flaw of the average stock.
And that's why a lot of people end up losing money. It's because they don't check their degeneracy. That's all I'm saying.
That's why you have to eliminate. That's why they have computer softwares for investing at hedge funds. You need to eliminate the humanness out of it and just read your charts. Look at your graphs.
That's true, but also the chart. Again, the chart is on the basis that the economy will go up. You are gambling on the success of the nation.
It's a cycle. You can predict that.
Have you ever heard of statistics?
Yes.
This is really cool course you can take in school.
Yes.
And,
I've heard of statistics.
I don't care how unpredictable something is. It is predictable on a level. There is a level of predictability to everything.
Sure.
We're about to argue my point with you. See, that's statistic. I can prove
Okay,
that.
but that's just because you know who I am.
It's
not a statistic.
Yes,
Some people know what the stock market is.
But like, over time, if you look at the stock market, you can see it. It goes boom, big gain, down.
Sure.
Big gain, down.
But
big gain, down.
But
And
again,
yes, there are imperfect flaws every once in a while. But like,
Nothing's truly 100% predictable. Nothing.
It's fairly predictable.
I can't guarantee that we'll all wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, but
I can't guarantee it.
The way I say if I have pocket aces, there's no. I don't. It's there. I would never have pocket aces because I'm under the age to gamble. But if I did have pocket aces. There's a large percentage that of predictability that I could win that set. I'm not saying that it can't happen and I can't not win the set. I'm just saying that everything is some way a little bit measurable, but it doesn't mean it's not flawed. And it doesn't mean it can't fail. Because you can get dream luck and get fucking well you can't get dream luck because he invented cheating. But but things fail.
But with gambling, it actually is luck. Where if it's a stock market, with the stock market, it's not luck because if a professional went in there and he looked, he could figure out why that happened, why you made that profit, even if you didn't know why you made that profit.
Hey guys, it's Will. Just wanted to say sorry again. This video is cut short. We lost some of the video and audio files for the last few episodes 2 through 4. So this should be the last one. We should have everything working for episode 5, the abortion episode. It sounds so much better, looks so much better. Anyways, sorry it happened. We'll get it working. Thanks for watching. Come back next time.